Good evening, all the participants, fellow colleagues from different colleges across India. We are here today for the day 4. Again, one more important session. So as I said, every session is important. Let's little bit of recap of what we have learned till now. The first day we had on anatomy of manuscript and how you can write rebuttal and what are the common mistakes we do and what are the minute details which you should have in your work in your paper. That's what we learned on first day by Dr. Prafulla. On the second day we had Dr. Sainath, who spoke about where to publish, how important it is that you publish in journals which are indexed by Scopus and Web of Science, and how do you search there, how do you ensure that you follow the guidelines, COPE, COI, and also we learned about Turnitin, similar to Turnitin software known as PaperPile and so on. That's on the second day. Yesterday, that is third day, Dr. Balchandra, he spoke about LaTeX. What are the different tools which are freely available for us to format our paper, thesis, articles, presentations. And we did little bit of kind of hands-on session. Many of you have also practiced. You were asking doubts, and also you were messaging personally, writing emails saying this is something which is interesting. We want long session. So as I said, everything we are assuming that you have wonderful work done and you want to publish and disseminate that information to fellow researchers. This is what we are trying to do. And today, last but one day, tomorrow is our last day. Unfortunately, we'll be done tomorrow, but we have learned a lot of things, but we will try to do such workshops soon. So before I tell about today, and we'll start with polls, are you guys able to hear me? Can I have some emojis popping up? Okay. Not raising your hand, maybe put some clap, or I'm putting laugh, I'm putting thumbs up and so on. So yes, you are able to hear. That's wonderful. So third day we had that, and fourth day we have Nethravathi with us, who is right in front of your screen, who will be talking about researcher identity. As a researcher, how important it is for me to get identified. So you guys know me through some researcher identity. How can I make sure that I have a wonderful, proper channeled researcher identity, and what are the various channels? How do you create, how do you maintain, what is the advantage, and what are the free ones, what are commercial ones, and little bit teaser about what is impact factor, how does Web of Science calculate, how does Scopus calculate site score, and so on. So before we go on to that, and I leave the stage to Nethravathi, let me have the polls for you guys. So I hope all of you have joined this. If not, please join. Go to ooclap.com and then give this event code BMS01 June, or directly scan this QR code, or I pasted the link on the chat. Go and join. So I see only 100 plus. There are more than 200, 300 people joined. So only half of you have joined the ooclap. So please go ahead and join. We will start with our questions. So plan for today is first 4 questions, if I'm not wrong. So yes, first 4 questions is what we'll have before the poll, before the session of Nethravathi, and then post that at the end we'll have 4 more. In between we'll have a lot of interesting concepts which is taught by Nethravathi. So with this, let's start. I'll also log in. Why shouldn't I do that? Okay. I'm scanning the QR code and then I'm opening it up. So this time I've set it as competition mode. Though there is very few quizzes, I want to see who comes highest in this competition mode. So I'll type my name and give. And I'll also pay, because I know I've set the questions, but me and Nethravathi together, but I'll also play so that I'll get to know you guys are able to see the same thing and I'll win. Okay, the first question on your screen, do you have online author ID is what you have to say. For example, do you already have Scopus, Web of Science, Researcher ID, ORCID ID? You have to say yes or no and then click on submit. Let's also see the results in parallel. Okay. 76% of you already have, which is good. So you already have. Let's see if you learn something new today, because just it's not just having, but maintaining it, updating is also important. Let's see how good you have. One of the IDs, Scopus, Researcher, or Orchid, or Google Scholar, so on and so forth. Okay, let's go to the next question. Which of the following do you have? You can choose multiple, so whichever you have, and then click on submit. You can give multiple answers. If you have all the IDs, you have to press all. If you do not have, just say no, I don't have. Let's see the results. Wonderful. This was expected actually. Most of you have Orchid ID, very important. We'll see why it is important. We know it's important, but we should know why it is important. So Google Scholar, yes, that's again one of the very famous one, but not so quality oriented like Orchid or Scopus or Researcher ID. Okay. And few of you don't have, so good to know about it. So I'll wait for 3-4 of them to actually vote, and then I'll go to the next one. Okay, the next question on your screen is, do you think these IDs are useful? Very simple question. Do you think are these useful? Oh, wow. Few of them, very few of them say not sure, but majority of you say it's useful. How it's useful, that won't be the next question, but we'll understand that during the talk. Okay, so the next one on your screen, the last one before I hand over to Dr. Nethravathi. What is the highest impact factor of a journal? According to you, what do you think is the highest impact factor of a journal? Is it this is as per Web of Science actually. Is it 26.13? Is it 286.13? 6.13? 2000.13? Which one do you think is the right answer? This is very important question. You should know what is impact factor. We'll learn more. We had a little bit of glimpse on day before yesterday Dr. Sainath gave, but some of them had questions. So we thought we'll show you some calculations today. Dr. Netra is prepared for that. So before I show the answer, let me see what all you guys have done. 6.13 is the highest. What you think? Few of you think 26.13 is, I guess. There are few of them who think 2000.13. Okay, 2000 is like wow. 286 is also wow, but let's see which one is correct. Okay, so I'll wait for one person. Okay, 110 of you voted. So let's see the correct answer. You can't vote anymore. The correct answer is 286.13. Okay, which journal? Something related to cancer. It's very interesting facts. I don't want to take away the suspense. Netra will be talking about it. Okay, so with this, I will stop sharing my screen. Keep your polls intact. We will take only 25% of you have answered correctly. You want to say who answered correctly? Dr. Ruby answered correctly. Navina and Sai answered correctly. If I take top 5, oh, I'm also there. I was talking and then giving. If not, I would be on first. So Abhishek, Vartik, top 10. Ruby, Navina, Sai, Vartik Singh, Abhishek, Klita, someone anonymous, Purnima, Raju, Sana. Okay. Few more names, RKN, Kushi, BMS01 June. Okay. Somebody who didn't rename, Rana Haldar. Okay, good. So we'll again come back to the polls. I'll stop presenting as of now. Before we go to the next question, I want to complete the session. So I will hand over to Dr. Nethravathi, but before that, I have to read out her biodata, which is again impressive. So Nethravathi, yes, she received a Bachelor's of Engineering in Electrical and Electronics Engineering in 2005, followed by Masters of Technology degree in Power Systems Engineering in 2008 from Visvesvaraya Technological University. and she has just submitted a thesis and waiting for a viva in electrical and electronics engineering at National Institute of Technology, Tirchi or Tiruchirappalli, NIT Tirchi. She is currently working as an assistant professor in Department of Electrical and Electronics Engineering, BMSCE. She has a total teaching experience of more than 15 years. She works in the research area, demand side management, energy management in electric vehicles, net zero energy, building and application of machine learning techniques in power system. So again, one more interesting areas. So let's welcome by a round of applause to Nethravathi, and then I can't see any applause, any thumbs up. Okay. So you should be very active, be proactive, be interactive as soon as possible. You have any questions, you put it on chat, Q&A, anywhere. We will start. Nethravathi, over to you. Just check if you are able to share the screen.
Yeah, thank you so much, Abhishek. Thank you for the introduction. I'll share my screen. Yeah, I hope you are able to see my screen.
Yeah, we can see.
Yeah, fine. Thank you. Thank you so much. And thank you for all the participants for actively participating in the polls. If it was an offline workshop, we could have distributed some goodies for the top participants. Since it is online, please take this claps from my side. Yeah, so let us start today's topic. And good to know that many of you already have the research IDs. So let me see what I can tell you more apart from what you know. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So today's topic, the name of the topic is research metrics and academic identity. Right. So, sorry. Yeah. So, what is identity? So, identity tells who am I, right? It tells it may be my name, my place of birth, my religion, etc. Right? So, but now we are talking about academic identity. So, what is academic identity? So, and here I am talking uh, about your academic identity plus research identity. Okay, it's not it's not limited only to academic identity. So if it was only academic identity, I would be called as Nethravathi, assistant professor, department of EEE. But concerned with like in add on to this academic identity is research identity. So research identity will tell others. Basically, it is basically to tell others, right? So others, what is my research area and what are the publications I have, where have I published, so which journals, which conferences I have published papers, etc. Right? So it's no more the era of olden age where at least I don't know about others. My grandparents used to tell me, like in Kannada they use their one proverb is there, you have to be like a ele mareya kai. So that means that you have to be like a fruit present behind the leaves. So you should not, basically it means that you should not come into limelight. It is not that era anymore, right? So we have to popularize ourselves, of course, through our work. Okay, it has to be through our contribution to the research, to the institute, and ultimately everything leads to society, right? So yeah, so we have to be, so basically what we have to be popular among our peers, right? So and yeah, i I wish to tell, like, the famous quote of the movie Three Idiots, if you have seen. So that professor, he will tell, right, life is a race. uh, if you don't run fast, you are like a broken egg, right? So yeah, let us not run, but at least we'll walk, right? If not run, we'll walk, right? So yeah, and everyone wants to be famous, right? Everyone wants to be popular. Everyone wants to be identified when in a group. It feels good, right? Yeah, so there is nothing wrong in being ambitious or wanting to be famous, right? Unless you're going you are opting for killing somebody and becoming famous, right? That's not the thing. Okay, so jokes apart, so let us get into the content of today's topic. So what do you mean by research identity? Is it your name that appears in the website or in your publications, or is it your profile which lists all the publications which you have published, or is it your institutional or organizational affiliation? Is that your research identity? Or is research identity measured in terms of your collaborations with others, with other institutes or any other industries? Or is it your citations? So what is the number of citations you have, or what is your H index, item index? Or of course we are going to see all these things. So does that identity that is that the one which is research identity? Or what is your activities, like editorial activities or peer reviews, what you do? So, or is it the media acknowledgement, right? So now it is the media is famous, social networking is famous. Is it your the acknowledgement in the media, of course, in terms of publications or your research, etc., right? So what do you exactly mean by research identity? So according to the research which is conducted, so whatever I have listed now, so I listed some 7 to 8 points, right? So all of these contribute for research identity, right? So all of these will together contribute for research identity. So these are very important for uh, enhancing your research career and for
Uh,
collaborations.
Nethravathi,
Yes.
your slides are not moving. You are in the first
Yeah,
slide
yeah,
only.
no, I'm not moving. I'm just giving intro still.
Yeah, yeah, I thought so. Okay, okay. Carry on.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay, it's okay. Yeah. Okay. So why it is important? Why research identity is important? So it is important to have a unique public profile which will enhance our research. Okay. So okay, let us start the first slide. So now I am in the first slide. So today's content will be first let us see about research metrics. So what are the different research metrics, and what do we mean by H index, item index, and how to calculate those? And yeah, these first two topics are related to identity, research identity, or academic identity. And next we will switch over to a more general terminologies, like what is research gate, what is the use of research gate, and another topic which is coming up is Sherpa Romeo. Yeah, I'll tell you what is Sherpa Romeo. I don't know whether you have heard about Sherpa Romeo or not. So so let us explore what it is, and we'll end with what are the different open access policies and importance of open access. Right? Okay. Okay, so what is research metrics? So metrics means what? Metrics means it's a general term, right? Metrics, measurement. It's a measure. It's a measuring tool, right? So there are different metrics available. So the name is research metrics, but in research we have so many parts, right? So the metrics, just like how we have different metrics in to give an analogy, if we take water or oil, what is the metrics for oil? It will be in liters, right? And if we take distance, it will be in kilometers, right? If we take rice, it will be in kg. or if you take coconut, what is the metrics for coconut? It is numbers, right? One coconut, two coconut, like that. So like that, we have a metrics, different metrics, even at research level. So yeah, I have put it over here. So the 3 research metrics what we are going to see today are journal level metrics, article level metrics, and researcher level metrics. So what are the different metrics available at each of these levels: journal level, article level, and researcher level? So as I told, why this is important? So it is important to understand the impact of research, or to gauge the research, or to make a note of, or how to gauge the quality of research. So this is an important tool for measuring the importance, or the quality of research. Yeah. So first, let us see what are journal level metrics. I'm not going to get into all of this, and a few of these my colleague Dr. Sainath had mentioned in his presentation while when he told about choosing the journals. So these are very few. Of course, there are many other metrics apart from this. These are the most familiar ones which I have put it across here. So site score, journal impact factor, eigenfactor scores, SciMago journal, rank, altmetrics, SNIP. So these are a few like heard ones, like you would have heard these somewhere, like, right? So these are the journal level metrics, which few journal level metrics which are there. And among these, I'm going to cover only 2, which is the journal impact factor and site score. So why journal impact factor and why I have chosen only these 2 is because these are the among the, in this group, these are the top 2 metrics which are there. So that is why. Okay. Yeah. So what is journal impact factor? So again, yeah, during Dr. Sainath's session, somebody was asking what is impact factor. So it is a rank. Basically, it is a rank for a journal. Okay. So they'll give, okay, this is the first rank journal, second rank journal. How, just like how we give ranks to our students in the class, it's the rank of a journal. Uh, and how it is calculated? It is calculated by how many times the articles are cited pertaining to that journal itself. Okay. So how many times there has been a citation for articles which are published by by the same journal. Okay. So that is the based on that, they'll rank the, they'll give some rank to the journal to the journal, which is called as journal impact factor. Okay. So where can we find this journal impact factor? So we can find this journal impact factor if we go to the home page of the any journal of your choice, or if of your field. If you go to the home page of your journal, so there it will, for all the journals, this impact factor will be mentioned. Or apart from that, we can also find, if we want to find the journal impact factor for a lot of journals which have been reported for over a year. So it can be found in what is called as journal citation reports. Yeah, this journal citation report, again, yeah, one important thing to note is journal impact factor is calculated by Clarivate, that is Web of Science. So this is for Web of Science journals. This rank holds good for Web of Science journals. So where can you find the whole list of the impact factor of all the journals? So you can find it in journal citation reports. And how it is calculated? It is calculated based on a 2-year period. So let us go ahead and see the see some examples, or see some calculations. So journal impact factor, yeah, this is one calculation which I have taken for I think IEEE transactions, some IEEE transaction journal. So you can see it's a ratio. Basically, the formula is a ratio. So here the numerator is citations in 2021, 2 items published in 2019 plus 20. Yeah, so okay, so let me show you the formula first. Okay, then we'll go back to the example. So we have to know two parameters, A and B. So what is A? A is the total number of citations. Total number of citations for 2 years. So I told you that impact factor is calculated for two uh, preceding years. So if we are calculating impact factor of a journal for the year 2022, we should know what are the citations for the preceding 2 years, that is 2021 and 2020. And we have to sum it up, we have to add the uh, citations for the articles in 2021 and 2022. That is one factor. Another factor, which we are calling it as B here. Okay, it need not be A and B only, it can be anything. So another factor which we should know is the total number of publications, again in the same year, the same 2 years, 2021 and 2022. That means if we are calculating impact factor for a particular journals, what we should know how many publications or how many articles that particular journal published in the previous 2 years, and how many citations it received in the year 2022 for the same articles. So the ratio of A and B will give us the 2022 impact factor. So let us go back to the example. So citations in 2021, 2 items published in 2019 and 2020, right? That means the items or articles are published in 2019 and 2020, but as on in this 2021 year, these are the total number of citations received: 448 plus 440, which will give us 888, divided by number of citable items. That means number of publications, basically number of articles, number of papers which was published by that journal in 2019 and 2020. So it published 139 and 140. So the sum comes up to 279, and the ratio is 3.183. So this ratio 3.183 is what is called as the impact factor for that journal impact factor or rank of that journal. Okay, so this is one example. So let us go ahead and see another example. So yeah, this was a question which was asked in the poll, like what is the highest number of impact factor which you to be guessed. Okay, so this was calculated for a journal called as CAA, Cancer Journal for Clinicians. Okay, so this had the highest impact factor in that list. So what is that list? We are calculating the journal impact factor now, and that list is the Web of Science journals list, right? Remember that the Web of Science journals list. So you can see that this has a interesting numbers. If you see uh, citations in 2021, 2 items published in 2019 and 2020. So if you see the numbers, the number of citations, it's really high, right? 9,584 citations for, but for how many articles? Come to the denominator. How many articles were published in that journal? Just 21 articles were published in that journal, right? So in 2019, this Cancer Journal for Clinicians published 21 articles, but see the citations it received. It has received 9,584 citations, right? And in the next year, 2020, a slight better number than 21. So it published 33 journals, but again, see the citations. It is 5,867 citations for that for 33 articles. So the sum of citations will come to 15,15451 divided by number of journals this journal has published. So that the lesser number of articles, but higher, very higher number of citations. So what that led to a very, very high impact factor, right? So yeah, this was taken from, again, Clarivate. If you go, you can search it. If you go to Clarivate and search for the journals list, it will show. Okay. uh, yeah, so this is how you calculate journal impact factor. Hope it is clear. Hope all of you are following. Oh, yeah, my colleague has warned me to go slow, because I always talk very fast, and even in the class I teach like very fast. So I hope all of you are following me. Yeah, this was the formula which we saw. Yeah, and okay, let me bring out a teacher in me. So I have an exercise for all of you. Please go ahead and calculate the impact factor for some X journal. I've taken some random numbers, so just whatever it came to my mind, I've taken that random numbers, just for as an exercise, right? So we teachers always, we have to, if we give one numerical, it follows with a couple of numericals which students have to solve, right? So think like that, and you can go ahead and solve it, and please put it in the chat. Let me go to the chat and see how many of you have calculated. Yes, 1.317 is right. Okay, Kushi, please show the previous slides. Which slide? The calculation part? Okay. 1.317 is the right answer. Yeah, I'll go to the calculation slide. Where is that formula? Yeah, this is the formula for calculating the impact factor of a journal for the year 2022. You can calculate it for it. This can be modified for any year, but in the journal homepage, what you see is the most recent impact factor. That means maybe now if you go, you will see the impact factor for 2023. And yeah, for your information, I wanted to mention this sometime during this presentation. I did my since yeah, why I'm mentioning this is because since using tools, different tools is also a part of this workshop. I have used Canva for preparing this presentation. So Canva is a online tool. So this is the first time I'm using this Canva for presentation. So previously I used it for creating certificates and posters and brochures. So I was quite impressed with the designs and templates which were available in Canva. So I thought, okay, let me try the presentation here in Canva this time. Yeah, it has good templates, and it's quite easy to do. But one what to tell, demerit or disadvantage what I found is the animations are not up to the mark as compared to Microsoft Microsoft presentations. So hopefully they'll improve in the coming days. Yeah, right. Thank you. Okay, let me go back to my presentation. Yeah, so I hope it is clear for you, for all of you, how to calculate the impact factor of a journal. Yeah, impact factor is 1.31. Let me hide this. Yeah, and I mentioned that another journal metric, which I am going to tell you in this presentation, is about site score. So other than what is journal impact factor, site score is another metric what we have. And how to distinguish between site score and journal impact factor. So first major thing what you have to note is what was a journal impact factor. It was for Web of Science journals, and it was calculated by Clarivate analysis. Okay, site score is for Scopus indexed papers. Okay, it is this is calculated by the people in Scopus. Okay, and what is the difference? So you can see one formula here. Again, I've taken A divided by B. So A is the citations for the year which you have to calculate, and divided by B, the denominator, it is now 3 years. Unlike unlike in impact factor, we had previous 2 years, right? Total number of documents published in previous 2 years. But in site score, it will take the number of papers published in previous 3 years. Suppose if like want to calculate for 2015, then it will take number of papers published in 12, 13 and 14. So that is another difference. So one difference is who calculates this, and for who, and that is for Web of Science journals. This is for Scopus index journals. And what is the formula? Basically the basic formula is the same, but the number differs, right? So, and I have an example for the same journal, like that we had one, journal impact factor for this cancer journal for clinicians, right? So which had a very, very, very good impact factor, 286.13 in Clarivate journal impact factor. The same journal has a site score of, you can see here in the bottom, 716 site score is the site score for the same journal, same cancer journal for clinicians. It has the site score is 716.2. So basically it is like two people, two faculties evaluating the same book, same test book or same exam book. Okay, so you can the difference is that the formulas differ. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so we will go ahead. So this, okay, up until now, so we saw two types of calculation for journal metrics, journal level metrics. And next we will go and see what are article level metrics. So I'm not going to calculate any values for article level metrics. I'm just going to tell you what are these. So article level metrics, as the name says, it is for one particular article, whereas journal level metrics is for a journal, wherein journal has so many articles in it, right? So so we are still narrowing it down. So article level metrics, we are measuring its quality. We are measuring the quality of an article, right? So in broader classification, there are two ways in which we can measure the metrics of article. So the most popular one is citations, right? All of you know citations. I'm sure all of you know what is citation. So how many citations it has received. So this is the most popular measurement which has been done for finding the quality or to gauge the quality of an article. Apart from citation, and from where these citations will come, it is taken from Scopus, Web of Science, or Google Scholar. So these are the three people who tell how many citations a particular article has received. Okay, so this is taken from these three pages, or these three web pages. And apart from citations, what we have is alternative metrics. So alternative metrics, sometimes you can find it as alt metrics. Alt metrics stands for basically alternative metrics. That means alternate metrics. So what are the other types of metrics we have for article? So under that we have mentions and usage. So basically this alternative metrics will come from social networking sites, like Mendeley. Mendeley is a social networking site, or even Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or any ResearchGate, or any other web page. Okay, so any social media, social networking sites, if there are mentions or usage. So what do you mean by mentions? Mentions means they have mentioned your article. Okay, so they have viewed your article. They have they have cited, not exactly cited in their article, but cited in the web page. Okay, so those are called as mentions. And what is usage? Usage is basically again view, um, share or download. So even if you go to any journal homepage or any of your article, if you open the article, say in IEEE, if you open your article, in the top above your article, it will say these many people have viewed your paper, these many people have downloaded. Though they have not cited, they would have viewed and downloaded. So all those two come under what is called as alternative metrics. Okay, so yeah, so as I told, I'm not getting into the calculations or more detail. So let us go ahead and go ahead for our main topic, that is researcher identity. So here if you can, I have quoted one line from Shakespeare. So what's in a name? So what's in a name? So he says, Shakespeare says, that which we call a rose by any other name would smell as sweet, right? That means even if you don't call that flower by the name rose, it would smell as sweet. It won't lose its fragrance, right? So that is what Shakespeare said. But we cannot follow this, right? So everything is in our name. We have to maintain our identity through, first is through our names, properly citing our names, or properly putting our names in the articles, right? So that was just on the lighter side. Okay, so what are the different researcher metrics which we are going to cover today? So again, there are so many researcher metrics available, uh, uh, four of which we are going to see today. And during polls, I saw that many of you already have these few of these IDs, and so please bear with me if you know the things. Like if I am repeating the things which you already know, please have patience and bear with me. Okay, so why yeah, as I mentioned in my intro during the start of the presentation, so why we should have research metrics, why we should create these IDs? So it is to identify and making ourselves more popular, or and also like popularizing our articles. And also we other like, it need not be popularizing ourselves, like we can also search for other researchers through these IDs. So what will happen when we search for other researchers? We will get to know the alike, like people who are working in the similar field. Okay, and it will lead to further collaborations. Okay, so we can find out, like what do they tell, like birds of the same feather, right? So we can find out who all are there, similar, like who work in the similar field, something like that. Okay, yeah. So the first one which I'm taking up is the one which is gaining popularity recently, that is ORCID. So ORCID stands for Open Researcher and Contributor ID. So yeah, so if yeah, I have already put, as I told, uh, in Canva we cannot make it like pop up one by one, so everything comes up at once, all the topic, all the points will come up at once. So if we see the number of authors in around the globe, there are 6 million plus authors, right? And in those 6 million plus authors, two-third authors share same name with single initial. In 6 million plus authors, two-third authors have the same name, right? So that means that if I say Nethravathi S, many other people. I have one Nethravathi and my initial is S. So I have only one initial. So there actually there is another researcher I have found. I know she is from another RV College of Engineering Civil Department. She also has the name Nethravathi. Yes. So like that, people or researcher exists with even your names also. So then how do we differentiate? How do we find out who is doing what? See, I told uh, there is another person who shares the same name as me, whereas I'm in electrical department, she is in civil department, right? Though we share the same name, our research fields are totally different, right? So how do we find out who, like if some third person comes and searches for Nethravathi is, so how will he find out which Nethravathi that person is looking for? So that ambiguity is will be eliminated through these ID, through, of course, through all these IDs. So now since I am talking about ORCID, so the naming ambiguity is eliminated by this ORCID ID. So this creating this ORCID ID is very, very important. So I request all, if you don't have an ORCID ID, please go ahead and create one. So it just takes 30 seconds, right? It just takes 30 seconds for you to create an ORCID ID. And moreover, another reason is like nowadays when you are uploading any paper or submitting any paper in the journal, they are making it many journals have made it mandatory to have the ORCID ID. Okay, so please go ahead and create one. So yeah, it basically improves recognition and discoverability, as I told. And how it is how it will identify? It will assign a 16-digit number for each of us. So 16-digit number for each of us. So though our names or our initials are same, so through this a 16-digit number, we can distinguish ourselves. Okay, yeah, these are some points you need to know about ORCID. Yeah, it just lists out what ORCIDs do. As I told, it just takes 30 seconds, and it enter once. The tagline of this ORCID is enter once, reuse often, and it protects, as I told, your unique identity. And it's a lifelong digital name. It's a digital name, and once you create an ID, it remains the same throughout the life. Yeah, and another interesting point to note about ORCID is ORCID supports different types of works. They say that it supports 37 types of works, but I would say I would make 37 as different. So, and it says that from articles to dance performances. That means what? So that means that if you are a researcher, you need not restrict yourself to write a technical paper only. Okay, so many are there who are interested in arts and music, yeah, and other things, right? Cooking, etc. So you can write an article about your other hobbies also, and even you can link those articles to ORCID ID. So it does not support only technical works, but it also supports any other articles, any other types of articles. That is what it means. Yeah, so continuing. Yeah, how to protect the information. So okay, you create an ORCID ID and you give a whole lot of information in that. So this ORCID has it gives you an option of privacy protection. What do you call privacy protection? We all do that in Facebook and Instagram, right? So we give who can view. Even in WhatsApp, we can control who can view our status and all. So that is what is the privacy control. The same thing could be, or it can be extended with ORCID details as well. Okay, yeah, it is a glue for all your research activities. Basically glue means it binds together everything. Whatever you do, it binds together, right? Yeah, and yeah, as I told, many journals are moving towards ORCID ID. That means they ask you to enter your ORCID ID. Okay. So it's a yeah, one thing like you have to know, right? It's a free to register. Okay, it's a open source, open data, and community driven. So it's not commercial, it's a community driven organization which has created this ORCID. Yeah, the main mantra of ORCID is collect and connect. So what does this mean? So there's a picture over here, and I'm not sure if it is like very clear. It's not a very high quality figure. So I'll just yes, we are going to anyway share this presentation with you. So now I'll just brief you about what this figure tells you about. So there is a researcher. Okay, this is the researcher. That researcher will create an ORCID ID, and he or she will get a 16-digit number. So it says enter once, you use often. So what to do after creating this ID? Then it will be stored in the database. Okay, and then it will be displayed on sites and metadata. So yeah, if you had you would have noticed in the first day presentation, Dr. Prafulla's presentation, uh, uh, she showed the paper with the ORCID ID, right? So under the name, like in the author's column, it showed author ID. So yeah, that's what this means. Display on sites and metadata, it will display, and once it displays, it will connect to other journals or other funders, and then it will synchronize with the other record. Other record means what? It will synchronize with the records of, so this is the elaboration of this bottom part. It will synchronize with employers. So when it synchronizes with employers, what do we get? We get the affiliation. It synchronizes with the publisher. So when it synchronizes with the publisher, we get to know, we can ascertain the different metrics for a researcher. And then also it connects with the funding agencies, the funder for research funding, etc. Okay, so that is why this ORCID is very, very important. So because it binds together everything, right? The employer, publisher, and the funding agencies. Okay, so yeah, so please go ahead. If you do not have one, please go ahead and create an ORCID ID. Okay, yeah, so these are the few examples of um, ORCID ID, how it will look like. Okay, so if this is the web, and this 16-digit number is the ORCID ID. Let me click it on and see. Oh yeah, the first one is about is the ORCID ID for myself, and the second one is for the second ORCID ID is Abhishek's ID. Yeah, here you can see that the name is this, the ORCID ID which I entered is a 16-digit number over here, and the name or the owner of this ORCID ID is Abhishek Appaji. Yeah, Abhishek Appaji, and he's also known as Appaji Abhishek. Yeah, so so now there is a naming ambiguity, right? So even you would have noticed, or if by mistake you would have uh, done, when you are entering the name in the journal or in the conference, sometimes it will vary, right? Like just like Abhishek Appaji, in some papers it is Abhishek Appaji, and in some papers it is Appaji Abhishek, or it could be A Abhishek, or it could be Appaji A. Okay, so it happens until we know that it is important to give our name properly, or it is important to give the same name every time. Until we realize that, it happens, right? So but okay, whatever has happened has happened. So how to correct it? So this ORCID ID will link all the names. So you can search for an author, search for the name, and you can link all the authors with different names. Of course, you know what you have published, right? So the Abhishek Appaji is also known as Appaji Abhishek in few articles. Okay, or sometimes it will be A Abhishek or Abhishek K. So all it basically tells that all are same. Okay, so just like how we say Deva Nobba Nama Halavu, right? So just like that. Okay, yeah. So that was about ORCID. I hope all of you are following me. Yeah, so this is how you create an ORCID ID. I've taken screenshots. I wanted to show you the demonstration of how to create ORCID ID, but unfortunately I couldn't do so because I already have an ORCID ID, and in this laptop, when I'm trying to register as a new user, it is not taking. So I thought, okay, let me put screenshot, since it's very user friendly. You can see that it's very simple to create, right? It's not, there's nothing like rocket science here. So there are 3 steps: personal data, security and notification, and visibility and terms. So to create your ORCID ID, you have to give the first name, last name is optional, and you have to not this number, so just ignore this number. You have to give the primary email, confirm the primary email, and if you have an additional email, you can give it, and then just click on next. It will take you to the second page where you have to give the password. And of course, nowadays we have a lot of rules for creating the password. So like it should, here also it is the same. Create, just give a password, and then visibility settings, like who all can view. Everyone can view, or trust, you can choose which people belonging to a particular organization can view, or you don't want anybody to see, and you keep it to yourself, like only me. Okay, so you can control. Of course, this third option is not recommended, and that is not the purpose we are creating the ORCID ID, right? Yeah, so please go ahead and create one. It's very easy. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, so that was about ORCID. And let us go to the Scopus. Okay, I thought I'm fast, but the time is already 7 o'clock, and yeah, I'll just increase my pace. Yeah, so next ID which we are going to see is about the Scopus author ID. So Scopus author ID, so again, it's an identity matrix, so it distinguishes between the similar names. But the Scopus ID, you are not going to create the Scopus ID. Okay, but how do we know what is our Scopus ID? So Scopus ID is created automatically when you have a paper indexed in Scopus. When you have published a paper which is indexed in Scopus, you will get a unique Scopus ID. So it will look like this. The Scopus ID will look like this. And yeah, you can see my name, and this is the Scopus ID which I have. Okay, so and I can also connect it to ORCID. So nowadays we can connect whatever IDs I'm talking, apart from Google Scholar, or rest all IDs can are have to be interlinked. They can be interlinked, and they have to be interlinked. And we can also connect it to Mendeley account also. So if I hope you all of you know what is Mendeley account. Mendeley is basically a reference manager. Okay, yeah, this is how my Scopus ID looks like. And how to get this Scopus ID? You just have to go to scopus.com, and click on author search. So you will get if you click on this search, so it will open a window where you can search for a particular author or your name itself. Okay, you can search for your name, and if you have a paper published in Scopus indexed journal, automatically this will come, and this number will come, which is your Scopus ID. Okay, yeah, actually I wanted to pause here and tell you to for those of you who have published a paper in Scopus, I wanted you to find out the Scopus ID. You can do later on, since time is running. I'll just go ahead. Yeah, so next type of ID what we are going to see is WOS ID. So what is WOS? It is Web of Science. So it is also called as researcher ID. Okay, so it is freely available, but it is freely available with limited features. Yeah, so another major thing which I forgot to mention is the difference between Web of Science ID, Scopus ID, and ORCID ID is, so ORCID ID is free, right? It is freely available with all the features. It is a basic, because it is basically a community driven organization, whereas the Scopus ID and WOS ID are commercially available IDs. Okay, that means if you are subscribed to this, you will get whole all of the features. Otherwise, free version is also there with limited features. Okay, again, this will give you a individual ID number, and of course this will stay as long as uh, your like throughout the life, and it will show the publication history. Again, all IDs will show the publication history. So shortly we'll see what are the major differences between all. So, and how do I get this researcher ID? How do I get this researcher ID? So there are two links over here which will take you to the home page where you can create the researcher ID or Web of Science ID. Why two? Because this researcher ID, initially it was created by Thomson Reuters, then it was merged with Publons, and then now Clarivate have taken over. So now it is maintained by Clarivate. So both will take you to yeah, I had just opened this earlier. So Clarivate, it will open up when you click on that, it will take you to the home page of Web of Science. You can see it is maintained by Clarivate. Okay, so here you can see that this has opened. It has two options. If you have already have an account, since I already have an account, it is showing my details. So here you can register. So you go ahead and register it. Again, this is really simple. You just have to give these parameters. Okay, just enter this and register. That's all. It is done. So it will, and the profiles, it will fetch from its own database. It will fetch from the Web of Science database. Yeah, I have searched, and you can also search for any other authors. You can, if you want to like know about their, what are their publications, etc. So I have searched for Abhishek, and see, you can see again. Yeah, you can see that even here there are 4 different names for the same person, published names. That means in different papers he has different names, but ultimately it narrows it down to the same Abhishek. Appaji Abhishekyam, Appaji Abhishek, Abhishek Appajiyam, Appaji A. But all are same. As I told, Devanoba Namalavu, like that, right? Yeah, and yeah, I mentioned that we can link all the 3. So even this Web of Science can be linked to ORCID. See, Abhishek has already linked his researcher ID to ORCID ID. Okay, if you have not linked, when you go to the home page, it will show. It will show to link it with the ORCID ID. Link with ORCID ID. You have to just click on that, and it will link to the ORCID ID. Okay. I hope all of you are with me. Yeah. So what are the features? So features, basically the features are to get the publication list. Yeah, and even here in Web of Science, you can control whether your profile is should be public or private, and you can view the citation metrics. You can search for any other researcher or collaborators, etc. Again, ultimately, we should what is the purpose? To know what is the research going on around the world. Yeah, the last ID which I am going to talk about is the Google Scholar profile. So yeah, this is the most famous popular one. So almost all of you might have this Google Scholar. So again, this is a free this to create this ID is free. You can just search Google Scholar in the Google and you will end up here. And yeah, if you go to the profiles, set up your Google Scholar profile. You will just go ahead and set it up, and if you have it will automatically fetch the papers, conference papers or publications which are in the standard database, that like IEEE or Elsevier. So if it is a standard paper, it will automatically fetch. If it is not a standard one, or if it is not an indexed one, you have an option of adding your manually. Okay, you can add it manually. But the important thing what you have to know with respect to Google Scholar is, so the major disadvantage here is you can even add somebody else's paper as your paper when you are going, because it has an option for manual addition, right? You can add it manually. So when you are going to add manually, of course, I know I'm sure that none of you will do that, but just to mention, I am mentioning that you can anybody can add anybody else's publication as their own publications as also. So that is why they say that you should not consider. So why do they add? So ultimately to get more citations. Suppose, okay, I have another I know another author who has more citations, so I can add the paper with more citations to my profile. Okay, so then what will happen? Citations will increase, right? So when citations increases, I feel that I have good citations and I'm doing good, etc. Okay, so that is a reason people will add other papers to their ID, which is not correct actually. So then yeah, so that is why they say that you should not consider the citations of Google Scholar especially. You should take it as a like grain of salt. Okay, grain of salt. The citations are like a grain of salt. That is the importance given to the citations of Google Scholar. Of course, there are real actual citations also, but they say that it's not really reliable. Okay, but this is one of the most popular Google Scholar, most popular profile ID, which most of the people will have. Yeah, and one more feature this Google Scholar has is if you want to follow any other researcher, you can do that. But whereas in other IDs, that is not possible. So if I want to follow Abhishek, I can search for his name and I can follow him, and I can create a alert message, alert, which says whenever he publishes or whenever he adds a paper to his profile, I'll get an alert email saying that, okay, Abhishek has published a paper or presented a paper in conference, etc. So that is one feature of Google Scholar. So we can spy on other authors on the lighter side, of course. Okay. Yeah, we can also check who is citing our publication. So we'll get how many citations we have received for a particular paper and who all have cited our paper. Okay. Yeah, so again I'm taking Abhishek's Google Scholar profile. So wherein yeah, you can see the basic homepage, Abhishek, and this affiliation and the field he works in, and this is a list of the journals. And here you can see how many citations he has received and in which year the papers were published. And this is what is called as citation metrics. So you can see how many total overall citations, what is H index, and what is the I-10 index of Abhishek. And these are the number of citations received per year. Yeah, I think I have to really fasten, really increase my pace. Okay, so here we saw that there is what is called as H index and I-10 index. So let us see what is H index, how to calculate this H index. Yeah, how many of you know how to calculate H index? Can I see the emojis? Like, is it how many of you know how to calculate H index? Do you know how to calculate H index? I can see many questions popping up, so we will take questions at the end, after I finish my presentation. No idea. Okay, so I will help you out. Yeah, good to know that Kushi knows how to calculate H index. Yes, good, nice. No, Gautam is telling no. No idea, ma'am. Okay, no. Okay, let me go back to my presentation. Yeah, of course we are here to show you how to calculate. This is one thing I have to present every time when I go back to any other screen. Okay, how to calculate H index? So why do we need H index? So uh, the more the H index, it is actually it says that our research is more impactful. Okay, more value is added as the H index is increased. Okay, so yeah, climbing the H index ladder is something worth celebrating. So again, this is an author level metric, right? We are talking about author level metrics from quite some time. Yeah, so the definition, you can read the definition, but yeah, I know that it is like a tongue twister, but I'm not giving the tongue twister for you. It is just that definition I have copied from the Google. Yeah, so H index is the largest number H such that H articles have at least H citations. Yeah, I'm sure that you're not like it's tedious to understand. So let us take an example to understand this H index. This is another definition which I found it online. H index is the number of publications with a citation number greater than or equal to H. So uh, what you have to basically do is, so take take uh, all your publications and arrange it and number them. Basically you number all your papers like 1 to any number. Okay, number them. Okay, and place it in this order, and for each paper you will have citations, right? So each paper you will have, so okay, paper one, I have arranged in this example. The papers are arranged such that the highest the paper with highest number of citations is the first one, going in ascending order, sorry, descending order. Okay, so the one with the highest number of citations is placed first, followed by the second one, like this. So how to find out what is the H index? So here, when you see this first paper has 100 citations, second has 78 citation. So basically we have to find out what is H here. So H is the number of publications which the citations for that particular publication is greater than that index. So here, this is the uh, limit, or we have to cut it off here. So because after sixth publication, we have the seventh paper has only 3 number of citations. So to put it in a crude language, number of citations should be more than the this index number. That is what it to put it in a very crude way. So why we are not considering seventh paper is because the number of citations is less than its the index. So we are stopping at sixth paper because the number of citations is greater than this paper ID. So therefore we end up getting the value of H index as 6. I hope you followed. So we'll take up some more examples. So yeah, here again, so publication rank arranged in arranged according to number of citations it has received. And here if you see, we are going, and one has received 99 citations, two has received 95 citations, and going ahead, seventh paper has received 19 citations and eighth paper has received 10 citations, and ninth paper has received 7 citations. So that means 9 cannot be the H index because the number of citations it has received is lesser, right? So the cutoff here is at 8. So that means 8 papers have been cited more than 8 times. So the H index here becomes 8. Okay, so I hope you are following. And again, here is an exercise for you. Please tell me, put it in the chat. Uh, what is the H index? So for the first question, an author has 5 publications with 9, 7, 6 to 1 citations. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9, 7, 6 to 1. So what is the H index? Can you tell me what will be the H index? I'll go back to the meeting and see the chat. basically you have to find out how many papers, number of papers having citations more than its own number. Three is the right answer because uh, 3 papers have received more than 3 citations. So that is what this H index says. Okay, 3 papers have received more than 3 citations. So that 3 is the H index for this example 1. And what about example 2? An author has 1 publication with 10 citations. So what is the H index? Is it 1 or 10 or any number in between? Yeah, it is one. An author has only 1 publication, only 1 paper, but that 1 paper has been cited 10 times, 10 citations. Yes, 1 is the right answer because he has only 1 paper, right? So 1 paper, how many ever citations it has received? So the H index is 1. And what about third one? An author has 10 publications, each with 1 citation. So an author has 10 publication, but each paper has 1 citation. So what is the H index? Let me see. 10 papers with 1 citation. Yeah, don't scold me for giving this exercise. So now I'm just on a lighter note. So always students will make fun of the teachers, right? You might have heard. So in the class, they will teach us to make plain rice, and in the exam they will ask us to make biryani. It is not like that. Okay, on the lighter note. So I hope I'm not asking you a tougher question. It is a very easy question. Right? Yes, 1 is the right answer. Yeah, though he has 10 publications, but the citations are maximum number of citations it has received is only 1. So H index is 1, right? Okay. Yeah. Okay, let me go ahead. Yeah, one more index what you see in the profile, in the Google Scholar profile, is I-10 index. So it compared to H index, I-10 index is very simple. So what is I-10 index? It is the number of publications with at least 10 citations. So if they have, if an author has one paper with 10 citations, he'll get an I-10 index as 1. Okay, and it is used only by Google. So it is another way to gauge the productivity of a researcher. So an example for I-10 index. So these are the number of articles and these are the number of citations. So there are 8 articles, 8 papers, and these are the citations. So what is the I-10 index? So I-10 index, basically a paper should have more than 10 citations. So how many papers have more than 10 citations? 6 papers have more than 10 citations. Okay, so the I-10 index is 6 for this example. Okay, yeah, another exercise for you. Some author has 11 publications and these are the total citations arranged. So yeah, what is H index and what is I index? Can you tell me what is H index and what is I index? I'll go back to the question. This is a question. What is H index? What is I index? You can in the chat you can write 1, 2 if H index is 1 and I index is 2. Yeah, 4, H index 4, I index 4, both 4. Yes, right. So go back to the, yes, it is right. So H index is 4 and I-10 index is also 4. Right? So that means that you all have understood how to calculate H index and I-10 index. That's good to know. Yeah, so coming to the last part of this researcher metrics, so why do we need to have so many researcher IDs? So it is just like how we have a PAN card, driving license, what is it, Aadhaar card, etc. We have so many identity proofs, right? So just like that, we have many IDs pertaining to research also. Each will serve its own, each has its own features, just like driving license for driving purpose. Okay, like that. So we each of it has its own feature. Yeah, it has persistent ID. Yeah, I can yeah, this is one of the another disadvantage of Google Scholar. It does not have persistent ID. I mentioned that once you create a researcher ID or a ORCID ID, it will remain the same throughout your life. But in Google Scholar, one person can have multiple accounts. I can have two accounts with two different email IDs, so it does not have a one persistent ID. Whereas other are almost same user profile. It has means it has a profile of users, like list of publications, number of citations, etc. And it has a publication list. Citation metrics only in ORCID metrics is not available, whereas others it is available. And user privacy control, Scopus does not have any user privacy control. Because why? Because it is automatically created and it will automatically fetch the papers from its database. And it facilitates networking. Research ID and Google Scholar facilitate networking, whereas others will not facilitate. And of course, as I told, all three can be linked together other than Google Scholar. Google Scholar cannot be linked with any other IDs. Okay. Yeah, I have taken one from my colleague Dr. Sainath, his profile. So yeah, anybody's profile should look like this. Yeah, please go ahead and create all the IDs. So see, Dr. Sainath has created all the IDs, and he has mentioned, yeah, it should be displayed, right? It should basically why we are creating, for the visibility purpose. So it should serve the purpose. So it should be visible. All the IDs should be visible in your profile, in your bio data. So he has a Google Scholar with this, researcher IDs, this ORCID IDs, this Scopus ID. Of course, I'm not touching upon with one ID. Rest all four we have covered here. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So okay. So far we have talked about metrics. So next, let us move ahead and go to more general topics like ResearchGate. So so if you have observed,
So
when you search for a, yes, sorry, I'm taking more time. 10 more
no,
minutes.
no, go ahead, go ahead. It's interesting. One thing I wanted to give one more assignment from my side to all the attendees is to go to their own Google Scholar profile. Most of you have. That's what I get to know from polls. And check what is your I-10 index, what is your H index. Does that match with the whatever calculations we have explained? So just go and check if it is correct. Later, that's a homework for you guys. And another homework which I guess Netra will tell is to create everything. She's been telling from starting. But just check your own Google Scholar profile, own Scopus, Web of Science. If you have more than 5 or 6 or 10 publications, you can easily see whether your H index is how much, I-10 is how much, and whether it is showing the same thing for that. And all the calculations, unlike impact factor, calculations is same everywhere. Even I mean, your Scopus or Web of Science or Google Scholar, the way they calculate is the same. Yeah, go ahead, continue.
Okay, thank you, Abhishek. Yeah, going ahead, we'll move to a general topic. The first topic is ResearchGate. What is ResearchGate? So as I was telling you, when you search for a particular any paper you want, if you put it in Google, so sometimes if the paper belongs to a subscription based journal, you will be unable to get the full length paper. But sometimes you will find that same paper in this website, what is called, that is ResearchGate. So what is this ResearchGate? So it is not a publisher, and it is, of course, it is not a journal, definitely. It is just a social network connecting different peoples with and it is like a database of many journals which authors would have posted over there. Okay. So why we have to use ResearchGate? It has many articles which one will be unable if they don't have a subscription for journals. And yeah, as I told, many researchers and scientists will post their full length articles over there. But the one thing what you have to remember is, though you download the paper from the ResearchGate, if you are using it in your work and if you are going to cite that paper, do not ever use the ResearchGate in the citation. So when you cite any paper downloaded from ResearchGate, it should follow its own original publication citation format. So some random paper I have taken from the web. So this is a paper, and it is available for like full text is available. Though this is how it will look like look like in ResearchGate. But when you are going to cite in the site in your work, please cite it like this. Here you have an option of downloading the citation as well. So please download this citation format. It will ask like whether you want it in bibtex or as a plain text. So whichever way you want, you download it, and then please cite it like this. So the citation should look like this. So it is a paper from the journal called as Smart Cities, which is a subscription based journal. Okay, so if you don't have subscription, you are unable to download it from this journal. So but the authors have posted it in the ResearchGate, so it is the full length is available. Okay, so that was about ResearchGate. Okay, so recently, very few days back, I received a mail from the same ResearchGate. You can see ResearchGate saying, Nethravathi, we think we found your full text online. Okay, they have found my article, the full text article. Okay, then I clicked on this. Okay, when I clicked on this, it opened another um, page where it says upload your full texts. That means they are asking me to upload my full length article here. So why should I upload here? What is the one major advantage if I upload the full length article here? It will be more visible, right? So it will be more accessible by other researchers, and I will get more citations. So that is my ultimate aim. I need to get more citations. That is my ultimate aim. So I'll go ahead and put it. But what you have to notice, see here I have put a red line over here. So and since the font was less, I have zoomed it and taken here. Review and verify this file and make sure you have the rights to upload it. That means though I am willing to upload my full length paper, I should be sure that I have the rights to upload it. But how do I know whether what do we mean by rights to upload, or how do I know whether I have the right to upload it or not? Yeah, okay, so that for that question we have an answer. The answer is Sherpa Romeo. Okay. So Romeo, of course, it is not the Romeo of Romeo Juliet of Shakespeare, but the Romeo stands for rights metadata for open archiving. Okay, so this archive is a part of this what is called as Sherpa. So Sherpa has many services. It's basically a service oriented website. It has many services, and of course when Romeo is there, Juliet has to be there. So Juliet is also there, but I'm not going to touch upon Juliet. I'm going to only tell you about what does this Romeo do. Sherpa stands for securing a hybrid environment for research preservation and access. So yeah, this is a complicated expansion. So to tell you in the layman term, this Sherpa Romeo will tell you whether you can, where all you can publish your article. So here, as I told, verify this file and make sure you have the rights to upload it. So this, whether I have rights to upload it or not, this Sherpa Romeo will tell me whether I can upload it in not particularly in ResearchGate. It will tell me whether I can upload it in any general website or any archive, etc. Okay, so yeah, as I told, Romeo stands for rights metadata for open archiving, and this is the web I think it's a must. Okay, yeah, this is the website for searching for Sherpa Romeo. Yeah, when you search, you can just Google it also, Sherpa Romeo. It will open this page, and in this page you can give the journal title. See I told the ResearchGate people asked me to upload the paper of mine, right? So and that paper is published in a particular journal. So I'll go ahead and put that journal title here. So when I put that journal title here, it will open another window like this. So the journal title, energy sources, I have given my own where I have published. So energy sources part A, recovery, utilization and environmental effects is the name of the journal where I have published the title. It's ISSN. First basic, this is the general details of this journal. Who is a publisher? Publisher is Taylor and Francis Group. Okay, and it is a commercial. He's a commercial publisher. Taylor and Francis is a commercial publisher. And under that, you can see what is called as publisher policy. So this publisher policy will tell me where and all I can upload my paper and what is the embargo on those. Okay, so you can see when we have a paper, there are three steps in that, basically 4 steps. One is you write a paper, and once you write the paper, you submit it in a journal. Okay, so this here you can see there's a submitted version, and then it will be accepted. So there's an accepted version, and then there's a published version. So for each of these stages, we can call this as stages of publication. So for each of these stages, there are some rules, there are some policies which have to be followed. Okay, so if you like, when we want to know what are the rules or what are the policies under each of this, we have to go ahead and click on this plus symbol. So I've clicked on the plus symbol on the submitted version. So what is the embargo? There is no embargo on submitted version. And where all I can put my paper or upload my paper, I can upload it in academic social network or my own homepage if I have, or any named repository called as archive, etc. Okay, and but there are some conditions. Okay, we always have that star, right? Conditions apply. So here also conditions apply. So published source must be acknowledged. If it is published, must link to publisher version and set statements to accompany deposits if there are some deposits. Okay, this is for submitted version. And what if my paper is accepted? So when it is accepted, there is an embargo of 12 months. Okay, and for your information, this details is only for that one particular journal, Energy Sources Part A. Okay, so it has an embargo after it has been accepted. After the article has been accepted, it has an embargo of 12 months. And where all it can be located: academic social network or named repository like PubMed, and non-commercial institutional repository. Yeah, okay, my colleague Dr. B Venkatesh will talk about the institutional repository in tomorrow's session. Okay, so it can be in non-commercial institutional repository or subject repository. But again, conditions come. Conditions, what are the conditions? Published source must be acknowledged, must link to the publisher version, and then about the deposits. Okay, so this is about the accepted version. And then published version, once it is published, then what are the, see, you can see there's a lot of conditions, or there are a lot of policies over here. And it has an open access, and there is no embargo once it is published. And who are the copyright owners? Authors are the copyright owners. And where it can be located? Any website. See, did you see the difference? Earlier, where and all I can upload? I cannot upload in any website. There are some academic social network or institute repository only. But now once it is published, it could be present in any website. Okay, so journal website, of course it will be there, and any named repository it can be present. And what is the condition? Condition is published source must be acknowledged. That is the only condition once the paper is published. Okay, so why as I told, why we need to find out about this. So before we put across any of our articles in any other websites, we have to make sure that we have the rights to do so, and that is told by this Sherpa Romeo. As I told, Juliet also exists, but Juliet it will tell the policies for funding organizations. So Romeo is for journals, Juliet is for funding organizations. So I'm not touching upon about those. Okay, yeah, this is the last topics about open access.
Netra, yeah. There is a question. What is embargo?
Embargo is a ban. The general meaning on embargo is like ban. So it has a ban of 12 months, like that.
So which means that other than their website, you are not supposed to publicize or put your article anywhere, including your local website,
until that ban is lifted. That ban will be automatically lifted after 12 months.
It's like lockdown time, what we had, right? 1 month supposed to go out. Similarly, a journal article shouldn't go out after 1 month or 1 year. Each
1 year.
journal has its policies. That's
Yeah,
what is
yeah.
embargo.
Yes, yes. Policies differ from journal to journal. Okay, okay. So this is
Yeah.
my last topic for the day. So okay, please bear with me for maximum 5 more minutes. Okay, so open access policies, of course you would have noticed about open access journals during Dr. Sainath's presentation. So what is open access? Open access is a literature. It is digital, online, and it's of course free of charge. Yeah, and it is available for download, freely available for download. And why we need to go ahead and publish in open access journals? Because these are the reasons. So research is not being disseminated as widely as it could be, and that means it is not reachable to everyone. And since if we publish in a subscription based journal, as I told, we cannot others cannot download it. Even I cannot download my own paper. So and after that access, they'll give access for few days. After that, I cannot download my own paper in that subscription based journal. So that will limit the visibility, and that will limit the usability ultimately. Okay, people will not download, then I will receive lesser number of citations. And of course, if we have the ability to pay, we can go ahead and pay and download it. Of course, as I know, 99% of researchers will not do so. Okay, so that is a limitation on subscription based journals. So that is why uh, uh, we can go ahead for open access journals. Yeah, but the key point what you have to remember is, you have to differentiate between open access and what did Dr. Sainath tell, the predatory journals. So you have to be very careful while you are searching for open access journals. So you have to be careful, and you should be able to differentiate between open access and predatory journals. Okay, so how do we achieve this open access? It is achieved via open access repository, and they are called as green open access. And if it is a journal, it is called as gold open access. Okay, these are the two types. And what is open access repository? So repository, it's a general English name, right? A repository is a collection of many different journals. So it is a collection of many different open access journals. It is free to access, and usually these repositories are purchased by the institutions, by the libraries. Okay, so it is institutional based, and even in institutional based, it might be subject based also. Like my institution has only electrical based open access journals, or only mechanical based open access journals, like that. It could be subject based, or in general institution based. And it is based on the model of archiving and depositing, and we can search it on any search engines. And what is another one? That is open access journal. Journal is one particular journal, whereas repository is collection of journals. So what is this journal? The open access journal, it is free to the users, and usually it is online. And open access journals, even if you upload a paper to open access journals, and even if you have more option of getting published, if the paper getting published than the subscription based journal, open access journal do follow peer review. They carry out peer review in the same way as traditional journals. Again, I'm quoting about predatory journals, whereas predatory journals will not do this peer review. Okay, whereas this open access journals, though they are open access, though they are charging the authors, so it is basically mostly based on author pay model. So though author pays for the paper to be accepted, it will undergo peer review. Okay, so we have some standard open access. Always, if you are going for open access, go for some standard publishers like IEEE or Elsevier, like that. Of course, there are many others. You can search and explore it. So exploring journals itself is research in it. Okay, so where it is published? Yeah, to encourage open access, like publishing in open access journals, it is published by universities. It could be a university based journal, or any societies, not for profit publishers, and also by some commercial publishers. So commercial publishers, as I told, IEEE and all are commercial publishers. They'll charge you in some dollars, some thousands of dollars, not only dollars. Okay, so these are public open access journals. And where to find the list of open access journals? Please go ahead and check this website for the list of open access journals. Yeah, what are the benefits? Oh yeah, this is my last slide. What are the benefits of open access? So for the authors, yeah, we'll get worldwide audience and increased visibility. And for the readers, from the readers point of view, barrier free access. That means they can easily view and download. And libraries, it will elevate the problem of journal subscription cost. Yeah, just again, the subscription costs are too high for standard publishers. So it will, libraries can opt for open access journals. So it will reduce the that problem of subscription costs. And university, if it is for university, it will showcase universities research. And the universities can collaborate with other expertise in different universities. And the tagline is open access encourages faster developments and innovation in research. So that is why we have to switch to open access. Yeah, yeah, so I'll end with my with this. So thank you so much for listening to me patiently. So I'll be glad if I have told some, at least a few things which you didn't know. And this is for budding researchers out there, which is a quote from Albert Einstein. If we knew what it was we were doing, it would not be called research, would it? So I can totally understand that what young researchers they will tell, I don't know what I am doing. Okay, so if you know that, you don't know what you are doing, then you are on the right path. Okay, please move, don't stop and keep moving. Yeah, thank you so much. And yeah, we'll take few question answers. I'll stop sharing my screen now.
Yeah, Nethravathi, you wanted that link, right, of the article about importance of affiliation.
Yeah, actually, yeah,
I have pasted it, so I will just do one thing. However, we will go back to polls before we go to the question and answers. I've answered most of them because we were running out of time.
Yeah.
This thing, but we'll take, if you have some more questions, please do answer. But I want to show you this. So one more thing, very important thing, each one of you should be knowing is the affiliation. Say we are from BMS College of Engineering, so we are mandated all our uh, faculty, students, research scholars, everyone to publish in the name and style of B.M.S. College of Engineering or BMS College of Engineering. So because as you saw, even your name you should mandate yourself that you should do like Abhishek Appaji, not Appaji Abhishek or Abhishek Mahesh Appaji or different version, so that you are reducing the job of all this AI algorithms which will try to trace and suggest if that's your journal. So I've written one article on it and how it will really impact your, you know, your NIRF and other things. You can just go through this article. It's very short one and very short and sweet. You can just go through at your convenience. I pasted that link on the chat. So let's go to the polls and then we'll come back to questions. You have any questions, please do put it on the chat, but polls are important to understand a few more things. So let me go to polls. Yeah, you can see my poll, right? Netra, can you confirm?
Yes, I can see the top performers.
Yeah. So let's go to the next one. Uh, so some more questions for you guys on your screen. Take your time because I know many of you wouldn't have logged in or you would have left. So go back, log in again, and then answer this question. So having a high H index and I10 index means that researcher is cited by many co-workers in the field. Is that true? Let's see what you guys are answering. Yes, agree, no, disagree. Okay, fast. Okay, we have 77. We need more. Please do answer. Okay, so I have to stop because we are running out of time, but the correct answer is yes, you should agree. I mean, audience is right. 90% of you say you should agree. Higher H index means higher citations. I-10 index is also higher citations. So let's see who are the top 15. Okay. Okay, 12 players who have correctly answered. Sai, Naveen, Mamta, Abhishek, Clita, Arabia, Purnima, Raju, Smiti, so on and so forth. Maitri, Ruby, Rekha, Shubha, Nandini, Vinit, and one unknown name. Okay, I'm reading all the names. Nobody should feel bad, no, if I don't read. Okay, let's go back again to our next question on the screen. Okay, I'll also be ready because I don't want to lose the game. A few researchers have a few citations of his or her paper on Google Scholar citations. Does that mean he or she is a poor scholar? Yes, no, maybe. I thought most of you will give yes. It's surprising that only few of you have given yes. So question is researcher has a few citations of his or her paper on Google Scholar citations. Does that mean he or she is a poor scholar? So while you answer this, the right answer is all three, I would say. Yes, he's poor, which means that he would have published in some predatory journal. Or no, he have published, but maybe Google Scholar is not fetching proper citations. But actually the right answer, what I have marked is maybe that's because, citations, if a person is not getting, there is some mistake in something. Maybe his article is not really in good journal. That may be one problem. Second, other option may be his IDs, the whatever academic identities we discussed, it's not proper. So people are not recognizing and citing his articles. His paper is not available. So we don't know what's the reason, but definitely answer is not yes. So Abhishek, Sai, Tarke, and Naveen, Mamta. So I'm excluded. Okay, don't count me. Madhvi, because I created questions, so I should know the answer. Klite, Gnanendra, Chandrakala, Sana, Sheikh, Smita, Raju, Purnima. Okay, congratulations everyone. So we'll go to the next one. Seventh question. Was this session helpful? This is not competition, but it's just that you have to just say. So I guess Nethravathi is crossing her fingers. Okay. 100% of you say yes. So that's what we prepared. So thanks to all my colleagues. So what we decided is that we will present only things which are useful, helpful. So we'll go to the last question for the day, and then we'll take to question and answer. What was the key takeaway from this session? So one word you can write, whatever word you think. Oh, Romeo. Calculation, H index, I-10 index, citations, Sherpa Romeo, research metrics. Clarity. Oh, it's too much, too fast. It's running. Okay. This is little slower. About research metrics, I-10 index, H index, interlink, matrix, Sherpa Romeo, research gate, research metrics. Okay. So Nethravathi has done her job then. That's what this says.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. And
metrics. JIF, Journal Impact Factor.
Impact factor.
All types of metrics.
It would be nice if all of you create all the 4 IDs.
Yeah, all home should take it seriously, evaluate yourself. I mean, it's a large number. We can't sit and evaluate in a regular job, but you should evaluate yourself. If you're followed, be a good student. You are your own invigilator to do properly.
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. Okay.
If somebody asks, yeah, if somebody asks, what do you have? Like, I remember that one famous movie dialogue, like, मेरे पास गाड़ी है, बंगला है, बैंक बैलेंस है, तुम्हारे पास क्या है? Then I wish all of you tell मेरे पास research 4 research IDs है. On a lighter note, of course, yeah.
Okay. So we are done with polls. So let me stop polls so that it will be running throughout the day. Next day, I realize it's not stopped. Yeah. So we'll take questions. So if you have, I know many of the questions have already answered, but some of the questions you should also say if, okay, I don't want to answer that. That's not legal. So let's skip that question. It's better to put only the quality work done papers on Google Scholar to get citations so that H and I-10 index counts will be increased. Yeah, that may be true, but see, all these tools, you know, Google is such a big company. It's Fortune 500 company. Clarivate Analytics also is a huge company, and even Scopus or Elsevier, everybody is a big company. It's all for commercial purpose. So they create this algorithms to have everyone on board. So having quality, so publish in quality journal. That's the whole point of this entire 5-day workshop. Don't fall into predatory journals. You are bringing down, I mean, most of us are from India. You're bringing down the, you know, acumen of research in India. You're bringing down, pulling down India as a whole. It's not just your own. So it's a big vicious circle of predatory journals. Please don't fall into it. Every day you receive a WhatsApp message or email or Facebook post or anything saying, hey, publish with me, pay first author 5,000, sixth author 2,000, or first patent, all those things. All this German patents which is floating around, Australian patents, don't fall into those traps. All those are traps. It doesn't take you anywhere. Another doesn't count for your promotions, your career. Rather, it is bringing down your own profile. If you are published in predatory journal, people will start. I mean, if it is a good researcher, like all of us present here, we already have educated now, saying what is important, what is predatory, and you see somebody presenting in that, then they'll think that, oh, this guy is really, he doesn't know what it is. Okay, so can any ID be fake? Netra, you wanted to answer that?
Yeah, as I mentioned, researcher Web of Science ID or researcher ID, Scopus ID, it cannot be fake except for that Google Scholar. I told you can create multiple IDs. So, in my opinion, I think Google Scholar is the one which can have a fake ID. Others will not have because they'll fetch it from the standard database.
Yeah. So even if you say that this is my actual publication, I want to take this as publication, and you put it there, there'll be backend a team which will do using their AI, and manually somebody will check and approve. Then only it will be visible on the website. You can't just, so tomorrow I'll go change my affiliation to say something Stanford University, Oxford University. It doesn't take. It will really go check everything and do it. Okay. Okay, Netra, you're getting compliments by
yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. So nice.
Yeah,
Okay,
thank you so much.
And UGC approved journal is mandatory for PhD in India. So check with your own university what guidelines they have put. There has been huge debate, paper articles by UGC chairman, everyone they're commenting on. They're not, all this paper media people hype so much. They give a title saying no mandatory publication for PhD. But if you read internally everything, you will see that the UGC chairman has not said mandatory, but it's not something. See, I will see if you are not disseminating what you are doing, your research to people outside, it means that you are not doing a true research. You are not giving it to anyone. So just check with your own university guidelines. What are their guidelines? So we have to do that. When we change our affiliation, whether ID remains same. Yes, your ID remains same. You can't change your affiliation, especially in Web of Science and Scopus. if you see your affiliation, whatever is the latest publication, say you are from say college X, you shift your you join BMS College of Engineering. So BMS College of Engineering, your ID today you join, give your joining letter, you draw your first salary. It doesn't mean that you are automatically it will change. When will it change is your first time when you go first publication in that institute, whatever affiliation you have put, that will change. So it will take 2-3 months for you to change. But as soon as you join, you can't change your affiliation. Everything is automated. Nothing is manual in Scopus and Web of Science. Okay, Hari Prasad sir, that's something which I don't want to comment or anything. But if you want to download papers, first time try to check in ResearchGate or some open access repositories which Netra madam was discussing. Best thing is if you don't get, write an email to the author, corresponding author. They'll be more than happy to reply and give you the paper. Why do they give? Because you will read the paper and you may cite. So they'll really give you. So, okay, next question. Is it better to put only the quality work done paper? Okay, now that we have answered. What is the meaning of article in press in some papers of LCVR? Many of them have article in press, not only LCVR. So Netra, you wanted to answer that?
Yeah, article in press in means that it has been accepted and it is yet to be published. It is undergoing like check, like spell check, and all the publishers will contact the authors like for proofreading purpose. So that stage is called as article in press.
Yeah, exactly. So they will be putting in the format. So you would have submitted in some random format you want. So they will be putting in the format which is required for the journal. For that, there'll be an editorial office. There'll be some technical people working behind the office to format everything. Till that time, your paper is available as article in press. Once it is published and once volume, everything is assigned, what Sainath was also talking the other day, issue and volume is assigned, then it becomes a document which is available. Okay, I don't see any questions. Maybe we will stop recording and we will still continue taking questions. So if you're done and you can go ahead and go ahead and leave the call. But before we leave, just round of applause to Nethravathi, who has done excellent job in explaining a lot of things. She did a lot of homework actually. We almost had 10 to 15 brainstorming sections with each of the researchers who presented. And tomorrow also Venkatesh will be presenting. So everyone, we had multiple sessions we have done so that we give you the experience, we give you some teasers, and it's something, some social work we wanted to do, something like that. So thank you, Nethravathi ma'am, for accepting and being part of the team and delivering such a nice concepts together.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity, Abhishek.
Yeah. Thank you. We'll stop recording. We'll see you tomorrow, but you can stay back and listen to other questions, what pops up from other researchers.